Alright, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. And Randonautica is a well-known app that's been around for years. But recently there's been a very unsettling scheme going around using false ads to promote something you really don't want to have on your device. My name is Dallas, aka Infurness, and welcome back to the Thetekkitrealm. This is an app that's already developed a controversial reputation for various reasons. As for the sake of context, it's basically a game of sorts with the only function of generating random coordinates on the map, and to a certain extent, daring you to venture out to them, even if in the far reaches out in the middle of nowhere. And for the most part, the many critiques of this unique mobile game range from the few examples of people getting lost, injured, or otherwise in dangerous situations by simply following the real-life coordinates, to even some who believe that there's a form of supernatural mechanism within that's able to read your very mind and draw you to a location where a life-changing event will occur. And this is obviously the most plausible scenario. But regardless, Randonautica has been widely regarded and referenced to over time due to its strangeness, and quite popular at that as well. And the way most things work in gaining this kind of attention in the first place is advertisements, surprisingly, which is why today I'm here to tell you that you may very well have an app on your phone that has completely different intentions than you think, and could very well be a risk to your actual safety. There's been a scheme going around, seemingly starting up recently enough to have gone under the general radar for most websites and security systems, involving mobile app advertisements, promoting well-known games and titles supposedly by their creators. And lots of these ads are intertwined within the plethora of other real game ads, which may exist on various web pages, video ads, and even ads on other mobile games. But they're far from what they seem, and are nothing but purely insidious attempts to compromise your personal info. And maybe worse. The reason I'm focusing the spotlight on Randonautica in this case is because, from my personal observation, it seems like this is the primary app being used in this situation. There are some advertisements for this game that are floating around just like any other ad, but the difference is these are not being made by the app's developers, but instead are being paid for, if they are being paid at all, by third-party actors that have nothing to do with the said application in question. They have appeared in reputable locations, sites, and even other game ads. They're almost indistinguishable, and that's what makes this all the more terrifying, and soon you're going to know why. If you were to interact with any of these ads, and there's differences in their techniques depending on where the ad is, you will most likely be redirected not to some official App Store listing, but a custom-made download page. Randonautica in this case, and this is clearly a disguised phishing page, intended to look like it was put out there by its makers. But instead, when you click download or do anything on this page as to install this onto your phone or tablet, you're actually going to be installing malware. And not only malware, but spyware, and especially with Randonautica in particular. In some cases, these ads, if they're pop-up form appearing in other games, may actually already install a malware script in your device even before interacting with it. But I can't confirm that either way. The big first thing that you should do, if not anything else, if you did by chance remember getting a mobile game or app installed by clicking one of these ads, and whether you even thought anything of it, you'd be best off deleting it now. And I learned about this actually through the publishing process of my own game recently to the App Store. If you see ads of 2-bit anywhere on websites or pop-ups in other apps, they're not legitimate. I only promote this game through the word of mouth, and here's what makes this so dangerous. I'm about to go into detail about what these ads do, particularly the one I investigated, which was the Randonautica one. The ad itself leads to a demo website, which is a full-screen adware redirect type of page, which is trying to pass as an official download source. And here we see it's a description of the game and its app reviews, which are very professionally added in as a JPEG that they hope that you don't notice, and multiple other social links to add to the facade of legitimacy. And the URL is a typical redirect string of random generated code, which probably works the same way as a scam redirect site would, only choosing the best targets beforehand to show their ad to. When you full on on fall for this and you use this download hyperlink, you'll have an app installed, and it will look identical to the real one, but it downloads through your browser instead of an app store like Google or Apple. Because it's really a web script that probably works the same for Apple as it does with Android, but for Android devices, it downloads an APK, and this is not the same application by any means, but it's the same size and functionality, so you can basically have this app on your device now, and you'd never even know the difference. You can open it up, and it loads the same way. Even though I'm using a virtual device, I'm going to show you what actually is going on. The Randonautica instance is by far the most devious, but as I alluded to in the beginning, there are other app examples being used in this operation, maybe even all the same people or person behind this. Some such as Balloon Tower Defense 6, Super Mario Run, Skate City, and even Subway Surfers. But the thing with Randonautica is it's already an app that has an onboard ability to track your location for the sake of the game and to know a lot about your device. All of these other games tend to also be low end in download size, so it's easier for these bad actors to essentially copy and paste them into these compromised versions. So now, with this fraudulent Randonautica installed, Fraudonautica, if you will, we can test out the gameplay, and overall, it looks like it's the same layout as usual, but immediately, there's a whole bunch of things downloaded onto this device because the storage gets eaten up like crazy without reason. The instant this thing is opened, there's no Apple or Android pop-ups, particularly none to enable locations sharing, data collection. You're just in here, and you're also being compromised by every second of having this open. The thing is, since it's not downloaded from an official app store, it's bypassing any of these built-in security features because it's not an app. It's a web-based recreation, acting as a script. And the thing is going to do things that you really don't want. Once this goes ahead and runs, as if it's the real version of the app, it's as good as giving permission to essentially have full access to your browser data, history, passwords, location settings, and info. If someone was on the other side of this, directly they could even gain remote access to your device depending on what the intention of the specific scam is. I wouldn't know if that would be possible with Apple or not, but I would hope not. And there's no way that you can be dumb enough to play with this thing to find out. So basically, this particular ad with Randonautica's most likely intention is info farming. So they're gonna grab all your login details from your browser, Safari, and Chrome, and they gain root access to your device if they wanted. Now, if this is a pop-up variation, as in what you may see in normal clickbait mobile games, you may be in an even worse scenario because lots of these ads might require you to interact or use the ad script, or at the very least, cleverly hide an X out button like you see most of them doing anyway. So if it happens to be one of these dangerous impersonation ads, you can just be instantly screwed. But don't take that to the bank because of course there's a lot of differences between devices, especially between Apple and Android, and there's just no way to know at the moment just what can happen and what can be done with this scam. But the main thing you need to worry about is to make sure if for whatever reason you downloaded any app from some online ad or pop-up ad that didn't lead you to an actual bona fide real app store page, delete it immediately, and I would recommend highly to have your device at least be looked at by a professional for safe measure. Personal info is nothing to tread lightly on because look, even if you don't care, let's say someone gets access to your login, even if it's just for a Roblox account, uses that account to then sell to other scammers for money, who then use that to steal more money from dozens of more. It literally can come down to just one compromised person, resulting in thousands of stolen dollars, and shit forbid, your own bank or literal life savings being compromised. Let's be real. Most ads are genuine, but if you haven't already, just download an ad blocker because they work even on mobile. And the level things like YouTube go to stop you from doing that at your own expense is quite deplorable. Just make sure you whitelist me, alright? Anyways, that's all I wanted to warn you on today. Thanks for tuning into this daily dose of just another scam hiding in plain sight that you should definitely be horrified of. Just kidding. Just be careful. I'll see you in the next one.